All right. Good afternoon from the Office of the Human Rights Defenders and Access to Justice Advocate Center, a legal department, co-comrades and legal viewers. Live from Ikeja Allen Avenue branch, we're presenting before you case of child neglect reported by Ms. Chinyere against Mr. Ifeanyi MC Danfo. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel on Access to Justice TV and follow us on our Facebook page on Human Rights Defenders and Access to Justice Advocate Center. For other useful information, visit our website on www.hrdac.org.ng. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Queen Solution. My greetings to the chairman, legal department, co-comrades, and our beautiful viewers across the globe. Please share, like, and don't forget to thumb up on our YouTube channel. Thank you once again. Okay, Chinenye, let's hear you out.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chinyere and I'm here to report Pascal Ifeanyi Atansi, popularly known as MC Danfo. I was married to MC Danfo, but I've been separated. We've been separated for close to 3 years now. I was married to him for over 5 years, and I have a child with him. So I'm here to report his act of irresponsibility towards his son. When we got separated, after much effort has been made, taking him here and there, he actually refused. During that coronavirus, he actually, in fact, refused taking care of his son financially and otherwise. During that coronavirus, I knew how I had to run here and there just so that my son can feed during that coronavirus. He totally neglected his son. After coronavirus, I took up the case to social welfare, and that was where they were able to make him to commit himself in taking care of his son welfare, school fees, and medical bills. So ever since then, the medical bill, my son don't always get sick all the time, but you're taking care of the school fees and the what do you call it, the upkeep.
You
But
take,
the money,
you take time and talk gradually, calm down and talk calmly. You are not in a hurry. It is your time of your case, and nobody is ordering you to speak fast. Calm down so as to coordinate your statement properly. Okay? Yeah. Go ahead.
so after the coronavirus, he was forced to take charge of his son's responsibilities with the help of the social welfare, that's children child welfare from government. So he after the coronavirus, they understood that businesses was kind of shaky. So the money he could bring them, they allowed it. It was 20,000 naira I said was going to be giving me monthly for my child's feeding and upkeep. 20,000 naira a month.
20,000.
Yes, ma'am, a month. After some like a year or so, it became very tricky for me because things the economy, the way things keep increasing and all. I went to him, I called him, I said, please, that this money you're sending, it's not even going halfway. I'm just trying to manage with my own ends, trying to see how I can just keep up my son's upkeep because already while we were living, still living together under his roof, my child already has a standard of living. Not like he had the whole thing in the world, but at least an average child. So because we're no longer staying together, he felt I should take over, the whatever thing I feel my child need, I should. So he just decided to neglect. In fact, he's nonchalant when it comes to his son. He's nonchalant. Even if I call him that, see this you, he doesn't answer, he doesn't respond. For every time Danfo has answered me, it is at the office of one child welfare or the other. So fast forward to late last year and early this year. Along the line again, I went back to shower welfare. They made him started bringing 35,000. He after he complained, no money, this and that. They said, okay, at least add provision money to the money that you're bringing for your son. He said, okay. They said that giving 35,000 naira. That was late last year, 35K. But as we all know, Nigeria and economy is nowhere. In fact, the way things have increased these days, and my son is no longer the 3 years old child he used to be. He's now five going to six. So his demands are high. And me on the other hand is choky, and I cannot lower my son. My son cannot feed or live like someone that does not have a father. However, I know Danfo is 100% capable of taking care of his son properly. But he chooses not to, just to get back at me due to his personal reason of me walking out of the marriage. So I went to him, I said, please, I spoke to him, I called him, I said, this money you are giving me, even you know that this money is what you can spend in just 1 hour in a day. But I'm taking it in a month to keep your son, to take care of him. So why can't you just try? At least add up something. Look at the economy. He said he doesn't have that, this, that. I should look for a way. He cannot kill himself. Whatever I know that for had. Now back to is also my son's medical. That one's another issue. If I call this guy on my son's medical attention, maybe my son, hospital bills and all, before he would get to bring that money, I would have to screenshot receipts. I will have to, send him several before he can actually transfer the money. The one that recently happened that brought me here urgently was two things. One, my son was I took my son to the hospital because it was not planned emergency. Just 2 weeks ago here, I went to the lab. When I woke up in the morning, I found out that my son could not stand. He was shaking. And in fact, I was scared, but I was like, where is this one happening? I checked his eyes. I noticed that his eyes was white. In other words, there was no blood. So I quickly took him to the lab. I called a nurse. He took him to the lab so they can check him. Going to the lab, I didn't have any cash with me. So the lady said they don't do transfer, that I must pay cash. Okay, going to the bagger to withdraw money. There was no network. Who was this person I should call? I called the father. I said, see you, I'm at the lab. Your son is down, Andres is down. He said, with what? I said, I want to do tests of malaria parasites and blood count. But right now, these people are saying they cannot take cash from me, they cannot take transfer, that I have to pay cash. I'm on the bagger, please. My network is not going. You know that on a normal day, I will do the transfer. Later, I will show him the receipt as usual. Then before he can pay, maybe after like 2 or 3 days. But that day I was stranded. I said, please, wherever you are, can you help me just do a transfer to this bagger? I'm standing here right now. He told me point blank that he's not sending anything, that I should do a video call. I'm like, video call for what? I'm in the market with the bagger. My son is in the lab with my girl. That do this bagger. Maybe when I get back, you will see video. And as usual, I will always send you the receipts. This guy told me that he's not going to send me 1 naira. He even sent me a video of one of his skits where he was saying, no matter how your case take day touching, I cannot do transfer. That's what he sent to me. I was shocked. I'm like, okay.
I
I had
don't
to go.
understand. You saying to what?
He sent me a video clip. He's a comedian. He does this constant skit video songs online. He sent me one of it where he was saying, no matter how your story take day touching, I no fit do transfer. That's what he sent to me.
You have it on your phone.
Yes, ma, it's still on my WhatsApp.
Bring that phone.
So I quickly went to the market because where the lab is in the market. I went to a customer of mine. I told her that she please just help me with cash, 3,000 naira. Like I would send her when I get home. I don't have network. It was that lady that gave me 3K. I went back to the lab, gave it to before they could take my son's blood to do that test for him. After that day, this guy did not even bother calling back. The next day, I said, come, what's with this video? I want to understand. Why were you asking to do video on your son's case of you know that this was live? I told you I was in the lab. What he told me was, that that one is my own concern, that he has told me that I must do a video. I'm like, you see that when they are taking his blood, he said I should do a video when they are taking his blood. I say wait, so I should do a video instead of my son when I'm trying to hold my son for to take a blood test. I should bring out my phone. This is the video.
Transfer my life, no matter how your story may touch. I'm not going to transfer. I'm not going to transfer.
Wait, wait. Play this.
transfer, oh my life. No matter how your story may touch, I know they do transfer, I know they do transfer, mommy.
Let me see if he sent that video to
Okay.
us. Let me see if it's a chat.
Yes, ma'am. Let me go to use it.
Tell me there was actually a chat.
Yes.
Right.
So I now told him that please explain for us with this new thing of doing a video in the hospital. He said, he has told me I should do a video when they are removing blood from his body. And like, you know, the way your undress is as a child, me trying to hold him like two nurses just to take blood. I should carry my phone and be doing a video. He just said, that was my business. We just hung up the call then. Okay, that's one case that got me short and like, no, this is, I cannot take this one anymore, even down to medicals. Then the other second one that took me here was my son's education. My son is in nursery two, going to primary one. The school my son is attending at nursery classes after coronavirus, my son started schooling in a Montessori school from a child. But because of the whole separation thing, we moved into a new location. And after Corona, I had to quickly rush and look for a school around the environment. So I got a school. Two schools, I gave him one. A Montessori standard with the way my son already started. He told me he cannot pay. I said, okay. So my son will not just be sitting at home. I want to put him another just an ordinary school. Now, after 1 year, I saw my son's academic standard. It depreciated, it went down. Even him, when he came to the school, he was even complaining that what kind of school is this? The teachers are this, teachers are that. I said, thank God that you saw this thing yourself. If I had told you, you would think maybe I just want to do something else. But he was also complaining, what kind of school is this one? And I reminded him, remember when I called you that I wanted to put your son in a better school, a Montessori school. You said no, you shied on me and all. And I said, that time he was just giving excuses. So we both agreed that after my son nursery class, we'll put my son when he enters primary school, we'll put him in a better school. Now the time has come. School is in resumption, but my son is not yet in school. Reason is because I went around the area, looked for at least 4 schools, and I sent this man. That was last week Monday here. He said I should send him the school payment and all. I sent him. These schools are not like extremely high schools. They are average schools, but good schools are Montessori standard for my child. He told me that he cannot pay. The school is 60,000 naira per term. He told me he can't pay. That this, that one, that no, for what now? I should go and look for a cheap school. I'm like, what are you saying? You complained of a school your son was going to before, and that school, my son was paying 45,000 for his nursery class. Even now, for a primary class, that same school, they are paying 50,000 naira per term. That same school that he was complaining about. I mean, these ones I've got to look for. I've checked them out and they are Montessori standard. And the school fees is 60,000. The difference of 10,000 naira, putting your son in a better school, at least. He complained. He sent me a text message on that my phone. He said, I should go and look for a school from 15,000 naira to 30K. I'm like, are you going backwards or you are going forward? Mind you, your son is going to a higher class. He's not going down. In nursery class, he was paying 40 something. Now he's entering primary school. You're asking me to go and look for a school that from 15,000 to 35,000 naira. How? He said, I beg, he don't tell me finish. Oh. He don't tell me finish. Me sabi. From that time till now, this guy has not even called me to ask. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. From that time till now, this guy has not even called me to say, so which school you don't find though, or which school have you looked for? Have you started school? No. My son is still at home because that other school that I was there before is no choice for him because the school standard they're not giving us what we want. So that's the reason I came here. Last year December here, he stopped my son's lesson because of the school. I had to call extra teacher to teach him at home so he can follow up. My son normally is an hyperactive child. He plays a lot. Just put him here. He's like he started playing. So I called myself, see, we need to keep this boy occupied academically. so that he doesn't really lag behind when it comes to his education. Last year, before this last term, that this third term, this fourth term that they rounded up, I told him, my son had been doing lesson all through his nursery class. He told me I should stop the lesson. The lesson is 10,000 naira per month. He said I should stop the lesson, that he can no longer pay for that his lesson. No. I'm not like, I don't understand. He's 10K monthly. He said he cannot pay, but I'm not like, but you signed up to take care of your son's education. This lesson is good to him and it's helping him in his class. He said he cannot pay. That I bet I should go and look for a cheaper lesson. I'm not like, the 10K lesson I've looked for is the best I can get, and it's coming from the teachers from his own school. How is it 5K lesson want to go and find? Where will I get that kind of teacher, in the street or where? This guy said I should stop the lesson. That was how my son stopped lesson. I didn't say anything. I heard him one word. I said, the only time I will come back to you is if this lesson that you have stopped for my son affects his performance in his class. Lo and behold, top 10, my son's result came out and he dropped. I said, look at your son's results and compare the one I sent you before. You asked me to stop your son's lesson because of 10,000 naira. January here, FC Danfo got a new Benz, a new brand new car, a new Benz for himself. January, he came and showed me the car. I said, so you, it's not like you are lacking, or not like you're not capable of taking care of your son. Why is it that when it comes to your son's education or his welfare, you are always reluctant, as if it's not your child? The person I'm telling you about is a landlord of about 7 to 6 flats, so that it doesn't look like I'm trying to impose what he cannot do. I know his level. I know what he can do. I'm not asking him to do much. I'm not even asking him to do anything that I know he cannot do. The things I'm asking to do, I think I know he can well afford comfortably, but he chose not to do it out of selfishness, wickedness, I cannot say. But this is your only child. The only thing he does, whenever my son goes to stay with him during holiday, he will take him and start posting him online, social media, and his WhatsApp and his Instagram, and be doing father and son and this one. The only reason why I'm hustling. But even down to the child's clothes, to get the son, that his son that he's posting, to get his son's clothes is a big problem for him. I know how I will fight or even take him to one governmental social child welfare before he will be able to bring out money to buy his son's clothes or anything that's concerning that his child. That is why I've come here today, because I can no longer take it. It's affecting my child, both academically, the medical, and my son's welfare. The money he's bringing is not, in fact, no, it's not even going quarter of, as in, I know how much more I have to do just so that my son can feed well with the way the economy is. And him, on the other hand, does not care. He doesn't even care at all. He doesn't show any concern. That's the reason why I'm here, ma.
You said you have reported him somewhere before.
Yes, ma.
Where and where?
The first place I went to was Ikeja, Alausa, women rights. There, they
How?
referred me.
How was the resolution? What was the resolution?
That was during the coronavirus. Before the coronavirus, they asked him to do so many things. They even asked him to even get, because then I referred him for domestic violence at that Alausa. They asked him to get accommodation for me and my son before the coronavirus struck. After the coronavirus, there was complaint of no money here and there. So they referred me to my local government at Ikotun child welfare there. So that is where we have been using that child welfare Ikotun local government.
So when you were there, what happened?
When I went there, they told me that when he goes there, he tells them he doesn't have, in fact, he's this, he's that. Even when I tell them his words, they still feel, madam, he said he can, that's what he can bring and all. I kept on managing until night has hooked me here. In fact, he didn't even know I was going to come here. He was thinking I would take him back to that same place, because there's one particular person that is handling our case. He's thinking he's that particular person that he wants to go and meet there. He never knew I was going to change hand this time around. He told me I should go anywhere. He said he's ready. I should carry him anywhere. I said, see, do this thing privately before we go public. He said, make I go anywhere I want to go. He didn't know that it was here I was coming from. He was thinking it's the regular place. He would go and lie, and they would probably just say, madam, or plead with him to support his own child. The last time the man had to plead with him, Oga, buy provision for your son, he's your child. Before he said, he don't agree. Provision when they give, even the provision he said he cannot be buying all the provision in a month. What he does, he will send me 5K to buy provision for 1 month of a child of almost 6 years old.
You say you left there 3 years ago.
Yes, December will make it 3 years.
December make it 3 years.
3 years.
Okay, when you guys went to the mediation center, was there any undertaking he wrote there?
Yes, ma.
Did he set any certain amount that you be paid?
No,
You be paying?
no. He only said that he was going to take care of. He signed like he would take care of his child, welfare, medicals, and education.
And still he sending money to you?
For the welfare,
Yeah, for whatever reason, since there was no any specific amount
yes.
he stated there that this I'm going to be sending 50,000 naira or 30,000 naira or 100,000 naira, which comprises school fees, child's health support, and all that. There was none.
No, what he does is he only whenever it's time for school fees, he send the money direct to the school. If it's medical hospital, direct. I will stay there and give him the hospital account. Direct. The only money he sends to me is the child upkeep.
How much has
For
he
a
sent
month.
for the child upkeep?
For now, the money he's sending me now is 35,000. He does it 15, 20. He send me 15 every 2 weeks. Like 15, then the other
Let
2
me have
weeks,
paper, please.
20,000 naira.
Just piece of paper from your deed. You need to give me. Just give me that. The school fees is how much?
The former school fees,
Yes,
45,000.
45,000. And what again? How much has he said on the medical? The highest and the lowest he has sent since 3
The
years.
highest he has sent for medical is, let me see, 15 to
15,000,
20. I don't think we have paid more than that.
20,000.
Yes, ma'am.
And like how many times do you think the child has been to hospital since you left?
Let me say, give or take, 4 times. Not just
4
put it like
times.
that. Yes, give or take.
Since 3 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Like 4 times.
Yes, ma'am.
Then the welfare, what does it do? The monthly one.
The monthly he sent 35 in a month. He does it 15, 20, like every 2 weeks.
15, 20.
20, yes.
That is
In
35,000
a month, yes, ma'am.
in a month. For how long?
He started this 35,000 naira. He just started giving it to me. That was last year. Let me say September or so. Before it was 20K. It was 15, 30K he was paying. After much complaint, they asked him to be buying provision. He said that the only thing I can do is to add 5K for the provision. That's what made it 35. But this 35,000 naira, let me say last year, still around last year, Ember month. So not.
Okay, let's say. But when did you go to the welfare? Which year? Which month did you go?
Okay, the year I went to UFO was after Corona. That was 2020.
Yeah.
Towards the end of 2020, that's when I went to child welfare, and then he was giving me 20,000
For the upkeep.
for the upkeep.
But
20K.
he was paying for
10,
the
10.
child's school fee.
Yes, he paid for the child's school fees.
Okay. Who asked you to remove the child from where?
The both of us agreed.
Both of you are.
Yes, he said the school was not even helping my son at all.
Okay. Are you working?
Yes, ma'am.
You earn salary.
No, I'm a stylist.
You're a stylist.
Yes.
Meaning you have handwork. You're
Yes.
working. You at least you have source of income.
Yes, that's
Okay, but the child is not meant to be taken care of by one person.
yes.
The child belongs to both of you. Because one, from your statements, the man in question has been paying 45,000 for the child's school fees.
That's, for the class he just did.
A moment, please. Then the medical give and take, you said the
For
child
over
has
3
been to
years.
school like 3 times, which he has sent like 60,000 for the child medical bills, because he cannot be sending medical bill ahead when the child is not sick, and it shouldn't be your prayer that the child should be sick. Good. Then you talk about the welfare, which is the feeding of the child or maybe the clothes or whatever. He send 35,000 naira every month.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is your own support as a mother?
I'm supposing that's the fact whenever he's sending, ma,
Yes.
doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that is how you hold on, please. Hold on, because I don't know why this man is not here, and if he's not here, we will likely visit the case again or however. Because one, some of you that are coming here, you should know this is not like every other human rights center. We stand for the right of everybody, yourself, Mr. Danfo, and your innocent child, which we must look at it from the three angles. We stand for justice, 45,000 naira, and this new school fees now is how much? 50,000. You as a stylist, you cannot add 5,000 naira to your child's school fees, making it 50,000, while the man is already with 95% of the fees. 45,000, 50,000 naira, that is 5,000 naira add to this. You have 50,000 naira and you should enroll your child into school. Then the 60,000, the 20,000 or 60,000 he has paid for the past 6 years, there is no medical bill that you incurred and you send a proof to him that he has not refunded back. Am I right?
Yes.
Based on your statement.
Yes.
Meaning he's taking care of the child medically as he stated in the previous place you've been to. Then 35,000 naira as a child upkeep. You are a mother, you are not handicapped, you are working,
Yes, ma'am.
and child is to be trained by both parents.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is the standard of way of taking care of a child, except you are married to a pauper or you are married to a handicapped partner, either he or she is blind or the both, maybe he or she is amputated, you cannot afford anything, then you expect the responsibility to come from one person. But a situation where both parents or yeah, both parents are alive, good and sound, and you are expecting one person, only the woman to bear the responsibility or only the man to bear the responsibility, that is unfair. From my own calculation,
Oh, okay.
good, 35,000 naira for welfare depends on how you want the welfare of your child to be. If you are very rich as Dangote, I believe 35,000 naira is nothing to write. I don't think I can't even, I can't say that. 35,000, what will he give? I don't even believe that Dangote will give anybody 35,000 as a gift or thank you for visiting my office forever. That is his level. And there are people that feed with 5,000 naira monthly as their as their welfare support monthly. Depends on your level. But in life, every seed everyone sow, you reap for it. Sure, the child belongs to you and belongs to Mr. Ifeanyi as well. If you choose not to take care of the child, when the child grow up, at the end, where the child is to take care of him, he will be abandoned at his old age. It happened and it still happening. But at least he have a record of where and how he's supporting the child upkeep. And there is no total refusal of what or his promise or his undertaking either by verbal or written that he has done in the previous place you have been to. Because the essence of reporting the case for a revisit, possibly you feel where you have been to, they are being biased or the tech side, and the either the resolution the person is not complying and they are not enforcing in one way or the other, then you decide, then you can choose to visit another center for proper follow up or to compel the person to do the necessary or the needful. But as it stands, the guy, from your statement, I'm saying this based on your statement that I quietly listened to you, that is paying the child school fees 45,000. Both of you agreed to move the child from the school because the child was not doing well to a better school, which addition is to pay 5,000.
That's not no. That's not for the recent school. The school fees for this one is 60K. That's what I told you. 60,000. Not that 50K is for that same old school I told you about, not the new one I looked like.
Yeah,
Said I can't pay.
let us assume because you will still feel when you are doing a calculation for a child upkeep or family support. The man go with 75%, while the woman go with 25%, making total of 100%. But a situation where the woman or the man is not supported at all, that is where the issues come up. It is responsibility to take care of his child. Then if you feel what I can afford comfortably without stressing myself, yes, I can take care of my child. But give me the child, or the child is with you. I will enroll the child into school where I feel I can afford comfortably. The fact remains that the child is going to school, is not being abandoned. The child is being taken care of medically when needs are right. The child is being given upkeep, even if you feel it's not enough. If you appeared in the law court, definitely the magistrates or whoever will still ask the person, take care of your child and how much can you afford. The issue is that if he refuse totally not to comply or take care of the child, that is where issues arise. But if he's taking care of the child based on his financial capability, which you can, nobody have the right to go and access his account, that yes, you are earning 500,000, you are earning 20,000, you are earning 100,000. Why are you not parting with 20,000 or 100,000 or 50,000 or whatsoever? The issue is that whatever he's giving and provided is consistent, is constant without breaching, then he will not have any issue. So there are children that go to public school and it does not require the dime for a term. What the what you are expected to pay there is either you provide what's it called, for the textbooks and all that and all that, then the first uniform and all that shoes, you can also make available of that. But they are not paying. They are people's children, and some of them come out to be our president, governor and all that today. Yes, we agree. Quality education is okay. We are hoping that the educated one should be our leader and lead us rightly. But we have also seen some other leaders that were not really highly educated, but they did wonderfully well as well. But that is not our prayer. But in a situation like this, where other kids are being enrolled to public school, but your child is in private school and they are paying 45,000, both of you have had an agreement, reach an agreement, you should support and not, if you really still want more of his effort, it's not the way you are going. Yes. This is somebody that you have lived with before.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
why.
And he hold on.
Okay.
No matter what, he's still the father of your kids and you are still the mother of his child. Understanding must come in on how the child upkeep should be kept. If you decided to take him to court, definitely you will appear in court and he will say his own side of the story. If you appear here today, we'll still give you room to explain. And possibly he may have more things to say regardless of what you have said here. But I'm just in trying to mediate in this angle based on what you have heard, you have stated here. That from what you have told this office, if you think what is given is not enough, either the child remain in the school where he's paying for now, or as a mother you contribute your own quota to enhance the quality, educational quality of your child, the performance of your child, if you feel the child is not doing well. Yeah,
She says that.
go ahead.
Okay. Initially, when this whole case was started with the new thing, he was actually asked to get, because my child was 3 years old then, he was actually asked to get an accommodation that he can be paying for her and my son. But
Yeah.
after the whole coronavirus, he said, there is no money at all. So they told me right black that if I can take the child and pay for an accommodation for me, I told them yes, because obviously I know that he cannot take care of me. He cannot even stay with his plants. He knows the plants. I said, okay, no problem. I will take my child and pay take responsibility for my child's accommodation, like our accommodation. So he shouldn't. He said he was not going to put his hand in the accommodation level. And it is right now, ma. I'm the one who is paying, taking
For
responsibility for my son's for our accommodation. He is not putting anything inside. I'm the one who is paying for it, and that is huge for me, ma. I'm not saying that I'm poor or I'm broke. I have a broke. I'm doing my stylish job. But what I can say is from the little that I get from my business, the little that I get is what I still use to take care of the accommodation that I and my son is staying right now yearly, and also the utility bills that surrounds the accommodation and all. Even at then they were asking that, okay, can he take care of the utility bills even if I get the accommodation and pay? He said nothing as regard to that he would not do that. So ma, for my own responsibility, he knows I am the one who taking care of the.
hello, Mr. MC Danfo. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, you are speaking to Mrs. Olushola from the Human Rights Defender and Access to Justice.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lady in our office here who said she's your ex-wife and
Okay.
you guys separated 3 years ago.
Okay.
And all the while you have abandoned the welfare of the child. You've been
Okay.
to a particular office before where they mediate in the matter, but what you were giving is not encouraging at all. She's
Okay.
responsible for the child, for the accommodation and other things. And
And I
you,
thought I want to do something.
okay, but why are you not here? I was told by the staff that they served you an invite.
Because the kids is already in welfare. They are still everything I should do.
Sorry, I
If they
can't
have
hear
it,
you.
eh?
You said what?
The kids is already in welfare.
But that doesn't mean that because you wouldn't know
They are
why
still
they should.
everything I should do. They have any problem, you go to the welfare and complain.
Okay, does that mean if the case go to court, you will not appear there and you will say the case is
And I
already
will
in the
go
welfare?
respect that time. I think that
You say,
now the kids that first.
hold on,
So,
hold on a moment. You said what and what you are paying them.
What I want,
You say ask like what and what the
I'm
expenses.
taking charge of the
Can you speak up so that they can hear
I'm
what?
taking charge of the accommodation, the rent, and the utility bills that is surrounding the accommodation, and also my child's upkeep too.
I thought you said he's paying
He's paying,
thirty-five
ma.
thousand for.
It's not enough, ma. I'm a mother. So my child cannot tell me he wants something because the money that the father is sending me is not enough. I will not get it for him.
Mr. Danfo, can you hear him? I hear that, madam. Yes, please.
when you go to child welfare, as you know, the first thing you talk about is the child. You find the school fees, you find students, you find the hospital bills, and you find accommodation. Have you?
Yes,
Okay, which the parents are supposed to do equal. Have you?
not equal.
That is what the two don't say.
No,
Not equal.
no.
Okay, fine, no problem, no equal. Okay, me, I'm doing my child's school fees. I'm doing my child's fees. I am doing my child's hospital bills. What else is you? I will see myself there. I will see myself there.
Hold on. Please don't respond in that manner, please.
So because after what am I doing? I'm taking care of my child's school fees. I'm taking care of my child's hospital bills. I'm taking care of my child's fees. The only accommodation to do that is access to the accommodation.
Okay,
I say I don't do the accommodation.
the but you asked her to move the child from the where the child is schooling to a higher
God
place.
bless you. I
Yeah.
never see higher place.
Yeah,
And
better
she's
place.
complaining of changing my son's school. I say, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Now she's going to get me the school that I pay 1,000 naira. And the lowest school is 12,000. Then I have to show you everything to get to this. The lowest school is 50,000. But from my one to two, who dey pick the money for Nigeria now? Cash afford 50,000. If you happen to take it, I spend for that property. The bank will
Okay,
can you
somebody
pay?
is saying something here.
Eh?
Uh, have you been to our office before? It's like
I
someone
never.
reported you before in this office.
I'm not going to allow that because
No, hold on. A lady reported you in our office in Shasha branch before.
Yes, 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 yes.
So you have been to this office before. This is the second person that is complaining about you.
It was not really me. Even the lady that said I came there,
That's
she
child
went home
neglect.
to.
Letting his
I
own
had to
child.
be like, yeah, I do my own thing. And I did it doing and four apartments. This is the man I met there was the one that used his hand and said, he saw that my hands are clean. I own to have those things. He even had done this to say. I told her if the school fees is more than I can afford from 1,000 to 35,000 for my son's school fees. Is it taxi? Check her phone. That has to show you the last test I said, message I sent to her.
Which
From
means
1,000 to 35,000, but she didn't primary one.
1,000 naira.
I told her that I can do everything
I
to
should go for school.
35,000. That is the school fee. The rate I did that to 35,000, I will pay you. But the one of telling me 50,000,
But the one you were paying before is how much? The one you were paying before.
that is
Not 30,
I think it's
40.
30,000, 35,000, I don't
It's a
know.
lot.
No, please hold on. Check. Go and check. That I was. We're told that you have been paying the school fees directly to the school.
Yes,
Okay, I think it's better instead of the child not being enrolled to school. Let the child remain in this former school pending when this matter is resolved.
I have to show you how
It's
to
Because you
50K.
when I
people,
told
I
her.
don't even know the
hmm?
price. You don't even know the current price now. And that's in school. It's 50,000. Excluding school books, textbooks. You don't even know the current price.
MC, that for what you need to do, hence you are the one paying for the school fees and you are paying directly to the school should communicate, the school authority should communicate with you directly whatever is the issue of the school. If there is any reduction, if there is any increment, they should communicate with you as the father of the child. Meanwhile, if the situation cannot permit the child being enrolled into another school that is higher than what you are paying presently, then the child should remain in that school for now until financial status changes, because we would not want a situation where you people will withdraw the child and the child will not be going to school for whatever reason. Then the issue of the welfare, the child welfare, how much have you been giving them?
No mistake, the no mistake is that they told me I will agree with that that they have to 20,000. That was just that years 2020. I used my own
15,
hand.
20.
Don't interrupt him and let me hear what he's saying.
Correct. Sorry, ma.
Are you hearing me?
You said what?
2020. We agreed there what we get the searching for 20,000 every month. This to the after that 2020, 2021, around the March, I saw that that somehow I increased it on my bill, 30,000, without even telling the welfare organization of who, what they call it. And then tell them I have to increase it from my account without anybody telling me I can't give you my 30,000 because I need to get somehow. So the parents want this in terms of just even they have the application to went there again to help me. I went there again after much, I started giving her 35,000 every month, 35,000 naira for my son every month. Okay, so it's not to do as if somehow or something. I sleep with she said she wants to do it. I still couldn't do it. I give her two 20,000. The next 2 weeks is 10,000.
Okay, what we want to say here is nobody said you are not trying, but you can do more because it's your child.
So I can't do more like that.
Hold on,
But that's because
hold on, hold on
I
first.
can't do more than that.
I say hold on first.
That's the reason why there's not.
But this thing have nothing.
Exactly. That's not the reason why there's not doing that anymore. The anger that I left.
MC
But for
You
me
Danfo,
should
to
stay
carry
in the
myself
marriage
into
and die.
meditation,
MC,
now,
calm down now. At least I'm not the one you are. I'm not quarreling with you. At least you have been to our office before. You have been
well,
to our Shasha branch before.
well,
And this is Ikeja branch.
well. You
Hence
have
you
been
are
telling me, once you telling me that you will bring me there, they will show me online. They
That's
will
why
say,
he
I
block
don't
her.
look at the now. If you say I don't get it, I don't go. Or I don't get it, I'm
but
not
you have been showing online before now. Is it not the
yes,
same
now,
you that
so
come to
you tell
our
me
office?
that was what she wants to do with you.
No, that
That's
doesn't.
what she told me that. You
No.
know, I mean, they mistake with that. Every time
Let
I
me
do
can.
mistake
That's why
with
he
that.
didn't come today.
But at least hold on. What I'm trying to say is this: your marriage or the dissolution of your marriage have nothing to do with your child. Do you understand me?
Well,
Good.
you cannot even play with
Your
that
child
thing.
is your child. Your parents train you, and today you are independent of your own, and you'll be happy that your parents care for you. You understand
Well,
me? If your dad is having issue with your mom, and because of the attitude of your mother, he neglects you, if you grow up you will not be happy with your dad. That will not be an excuse of your dad not taking good care of you because of your mom.
well,
Good. The child is for you, and must be for you forever. The child is
well,
bearing your name and it's your blood. The way
well,
you will treat yourself is the way you should treat your blood, because that child is for you. It's
well,
just like somebody trying to pinch himself. If you pinch yourself, you feel the pain. And the
well,
innocent child should not suffer the negligence or the attitude or the nonchalant attitude of his mother. The child is innocent, and just by fortunate or fortunate it comes out of both of you as God planned it. So please, however, we are not comparing you, and
well,
nobody is forcing you. We
well,
are only pleading with you as God is blessing you for whatever
well,
reason. Even if you wish you don't want to send the money to her, pick the
well.
child, take the child to the market, give the child any necessary things you need to fill your child
I do
needs.
that. I do that.
Then
Everything, clothes,
then
everything. I do everything
like
I'm supposed to
That's
do as a
enough.
like
father.
the aspect of the feeding, right? You can
Well,
go to the market. You know what kids like kids need like rice, they like indomie, they like spaghetti and other things. If the child visits you and you are returning the child, you can easily, peacefully, kindly do that and let your son know this is your food stuff your daddy is buying for you.
my God, God, last week I went to Turkey. I spent no less than almost 20,000.
That's a lie.
When the time I bought for
That
him
is
and
a
everything I bought
lie.
for him.
A big lie. The money he gave me
So
was the
when he
monthly
spent
money. I
that,
didn't buy one
he
thing.
can't
When
help
he
me
brings
I
the
bought
boy
for him.
back, he brings the boy like that. Even provision.
He was getting back outside,
Even
people
provision. Provision to get for the son is a problem.
I will go why I
Provision
don't
is a problem
myself,
for the
put myself.
child.
I never did
Ah,
tell myself.
it's okay.
I never did them. She just want to spoil my career by saying she don't
Ma,
want to spoil.
everything this man is acting on, you can hear from his
Now,
voice, is based on
there are
hate
so many schools
towards
in
me,
this my
not even the
area
son.
that they are
Sometimes he
paying
tells me to my
6,000,
face
10,000
that
naira, and
Shebi, na me
they are
carry the
teaching
pikin,
well.
make I suffer, make I know say,
30,000,
then
they are
let me know
teaching well.
that it's not easy
Well,
to hold a
but you
child.
want to put our
He
hand.
don't, he's not, he always tell me, and like he has said it the same thing. Shebi na
And
she
that
know.
is the reason
So
why
his anger is
before you
towards me.
people take decision, hold on. If his anger is towards you,
Exactly.
and that is why we feel mothers should be patient, women should be patient.
Yes.
You be patient in the sense that you must make sacrifice for so many reasons. If you make sacrifice either because of your marriage, life threatening is not involved, because of
That's
a
what happened
child,
to me, man.
that you feel, if I move out or if I take the child out, these are things that the child may likely face, either difficulties, either lack of welfare support and all that and all that. Those are things that our mothers considered, and they decided to be patient and manage some crisis in their marriage.
Even when
Not
he was
because the marriage was palatable to them, not because they were happy, not because things are okay. No perfect human being anywhere. You leave Mrs. A, you go to Miss B, you might meet your death there. You meet Mrs. Mr. A, and you go to Mr. C or B, the person might become worse. There is no perfect human being anywhere. No matter how we paint it on social media, no matter how women display the man gets car, buy house, do this. There are other areas that they are
Ma, I
feeling
almost
pain
died in that
and
marriage. Ma.
applicable
I
to
was losing my
opposite.
life and myself. I couldn't stay there for 1 more month. If I was there, maybe they would have carried my corpse, him and his family, away for there. And that son, that child will be neglected. I had to take the decision of leaving because I was a shadow of myself in that marriage. I was a shadow man. If you see me, you would think I'm 45 years. If you look at me, even him, he tells me to my face.
What is it? You said what?
And the right there, before that, 2 weeks I see that money. It becomes to the website as fine. So the things that should be dropping. To
That,
say that I'm doing my responsibility.
They even told him, they told us that oftentimes the money should increase. That way, they said it's not a fixed price. They told him that it's not this price, this money you are paying is not fixed. That oftentimes the case, like it should be as the child grows. That's
okay,
what
well,
they told him.
if they are, hold on, Mr. MC, hold on. If you have been there and you started with 20,000 and he added 10,000 and he added 35,000,
Yeah, let's pay 5,000.
I added 5,000, making 35,000. Where have they wrong?
No, they've not wrong. I've not said that they have wrong.
Okay, if they have not wrong and you feel you needed additional, why didn't you go to them
I
and
spoke
ask
to
them
him.
or talk to them? No, when you talk to them, because you people started with 20,000, right? And after which he added 10,000, making 30. Then after more again, you complain he added 35,000.
Yeah, that's 5,000.
5,000, I mean, making
Provision.
35,000. Okay, and you want more. Why didn't you go back there?
Ma, the reason is because the last time I went there for
Yeah.
that 15, that 30,000, that's 15, the way he pays it.
Yeah.
He said he was not going to add anything to
But he
it.
later started
The
adding.
man told him that okay, if he's not going to add any money, monetary wise,
Yeah.
that he should just monthly buy provision and go and give his son. When I gave him the provision list to buy and bring his son, what he told me was that one what they write no wetin go buy. He go like you just be give me 5K, I should use my hand and go and be buying the provision. That was why that 5K came on top. He didn't agree to add any money for the child upkeep.
But initially
No,
it
ma'am.
was 20.
That was the first year before that
But it
coronavirus.
was 20.
Yes, ma'am.
From there to 30.
Yes, ma'am. And that
30
was
to
where,
35.
yes, ma'am.
NC,
Now,
please. I did not say you should be adding money now. I never said so. Don't misquote me. Don't misunderstand me. Because you guys started from somewhere and you have been adding. Please, I use heaven and earth, beg you. I'm just a third party in this matter. From where you guys started, you have been doing increments. Please take your time and show mercy towards them, okay? And look at when, as God is blessing you, please increase their welfare. I beg you. I am not comparing you and I'm not forcing you, but within your godly mind, as you feel is better, because it's not Hannah, it's your child. Once you know that God is blessing you, please increase the welfare, because nobody will ask you come and pay 1 million because you are saying that you have changed your cloth from Aba to designer. It's your choice and your desire and your conscience, right? And it's your child. If I see your child and I'm being told this is MC Danfo's son, you should be proud that I see your son. I cited your son somewhere, because you are serving the public and you should try all your best to please yourself first before you started pleasing the public, right? Please try your best. Just try your
I
best.
don't, I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't even, I don't even need to go to my work. I think it's my heart very. That's number one problem I've been having with half of the one. He always put her
Why
hand
people
where
marry?
her heart
No,
is.
we're married.
That's her
Funny
problem.
enough, ma, you see this issue of this child welfare. It's not I started yesterday. While I was still living with him, it was a big problem. But then the reason why he cannot hide because I always see his income and I can tell. So there's no way he can lie. Like money no come. Because when he comes, I see the money. Even up unto this my sin, this son you are seeing, before I would even, if I come to him and say, see, my child, see, my son needs
But
something,
let's
or
not
my
judge.
son needs
But
something, man,
let's
it's
not.
always an issue. So it's not a new thing. What he's acting is not new. Even while I was with him, it has always been a problem, a fight. Not because you don't have. Sometimes I even tell him that, but this money that you like, but there is money in your hands. I'm not asking you, this is your son. Maybe the child wants to do one small thing in the school or a birthday. He will tell me, I beg, but that one, I beg, not be compulsory thing. Because maybe the way he grew up, he felt so many things are not important in a child's life. So sometimes we have to quarrel over it and fight over it before he can manage to bring the money because why? I am seeing the money. Not because why I'm seeing the money. But now I'm no longer seeing this money. So he feels he can just tell me there is no money. But back then I could see his income. Sometimes we even sit down and count the money together. So there's no way you can tell me that you don't want to buy certain thing for your son to eat. Or so that he won't tell me why is my child drinking tea? Why is he drinking Milo? He never passed Milo and milk. Make her dey give am yam or what? I'm like, I don't understand what are you saying. Not that you cannot afford these things. So why are you telling him that should the age so that we won't have to tell him that these children need these things for their brain to function well. These their provisions that you are seeing. Still what has told me I should not even bother buy.
But
So
for now,
all those things.
you know what to do. For now, try to manage within what is available now.
Mama, I've been managing it, ma. I've been
Because that
managing
is
it.
what I'm
I
saying.
have, but my thing is here, ma. Things are not really well in this economy, ma. That is why I was telling him that if I don't cry to you as a father of your son, who will I go to? I have telling him that this is your son. And he knows pretty well that before I will open my mouth to complain about it, ma, it has hooked me. All this while, ma, I've been the one, I've been trying to manage this money. I don't just go and complain and say this money is not enough. I manage it. I try my best to manage. I'm doing for my own man because
But
that
you
money
know there are
doesn't
people
even go
that
enough.
are that are living on something lower than
Ma,
what you are
okay,
living
except
on now.
my son should start living in that low range. But him as a father and the mother, already my son has an average. Like that's what I was saying. He has an average standard of living. Ma, do you understand? My son has an average standard of living as a brainchild. He didn't. My son, his father is at least
Okay,
essentially
let's
theoretical
assume.
level.
Hold on. Have you seen because Danfo, please hold on. Have you seen where rich man children that is well known? When I say well known, not just well known in Nigeria, well known globally. That after the death of their father, despite the quality and high life they were living before their father died, they could not afford it again. And they did not die. They returned back to where they find themselves. Do you know there are kids that are existing as if they don't have parents, that they have no mother or father? Do you know there are kids that exist as if they have no father? So if your child exists as a child that have father and mother, then consider the income you have at hand, manage within what you have.
That's what I'm
But if you are not comfortable with that, then put more effort from your side.
Ma,
There are
that's what
some ladies that rejected because they feel what the father of their kids is bringing, they are not comfortable with. They will tell them, keep your money. I am capable of taking care of my child.
I wish that was the case. Now I would
Do you
have.
okay? So if you cannot take responsibility of the child all alone, then believe that it might be difficult for people, the other person you are expecting to, because you can find a billionaire and that person will tell you he or she does not have 100,000 in his or account. Don't doubt the person. It's not by physical appearance,
Sure.
it's not by popularity.
Yes, I know.
But do you know most of these MC Danfo, they live on social media or packaging?
I know, but I know this one now. It's
Hold on,
I
madam.
I know.
I'm into so many artists, actors, and all that, and I know how they live their life.
I know, ma.
So you don't, because somebody go to social media and blow there, he
No.
become a billionaire. This person can even go and buy car on credit. So many of them have bought cars from my shop on credit and they are paying it bit by bit. Some have issued fake check that we cannot bring them to social media based on the ground that they need packaging to move on their life. So let's not check based on would the person be on social media or what is the name of the person? What my advice for you is this: if you are not comfortable with what is provided, you might be married to somebody today and leave the person tomorrow, and you cannot vote or testify about the person's character or financial capability. Anyways, I can't say much. All what I'm saying is this: if you are not comfortable with our resolution here, the next place, either you find another woman right or you approach a law court. But as it stands, one, the child should not be dropped from school because you want to enroll the child into new school. If you cannot add the other supports, pending when he feel is capable financially and to add more to what is given, then leave the child where he's schooling as he still continue paying his child school fees there. As far as he has not denied the child medical allowance, and each time the child sick, he pick the bills, then leave it the same way he's paid because he never asked you for that. Then the 35,000, which is the feeding allowance of the child, and he has not defaulted. If it is too little for you, either you cut down what you are giving to the child or you add.
I have been adding my what have been giving to for me to
Either you cut down or you add.
Ma, for me to come here, ma, you should know that this okay, let me even place my son on 50,000 naira in 2 weeks in a day, ma. I've calculated this thing and I found that it doesn't even go anywhere. Even if myself as a mother, I would even not see my child hungry and say I will not give him food.
That is what I'm saying now. There are
So
children that doesn't even eat, they don't drink tea,
ma,
they don't eat indomie,
ma,
but they are living okay.
Ma.
If you hold on, madam, if you want your child, what is the name of this this no this beverages like this they have sugar, milk, and no, they have milk, the Bonvita and sugar inside in one, 3 in 1, whatever like that. Cowbell chocolate, right? Hold on, madam. There are people, children that take cowbell chocolate. You tear one, they put the take. And whereas there are other children that have to have a whole half peak milk added to their milk. Some will use a full tea milk added to their tea. While some will use sachets add to their milk. Some will use honey. They will use full cream milk. They will still use Milo or Bonvita. And some will use, some children eat what is it called? Cookies, while others don't even dream of it. Some take ice cream, while some have not even seen what is ice cream at all. Some children come under our care. If you take them to amusement park, they don't even know what is amusement. I'm taking you to amusement park. I say, Mommy, what is amusement park? These are kids that have never experienced life of such before, and they still exist. They did not die. Cut down your expenses. If you know what this man is bringing is not enough, go and either you add to it or you cut it down until he changes his mind. Until yeah, because he's supporting, or you go to court. What? Bring a piece of paper. You heard from him whether he say he's not here. At least he has been in our office before. They have treated his case before in Shasha branch. I think it's chairman that handled that case.
Still on child
and I don't even know he's the one until fans started writing here that this person his case have been handled in this office before.
Ma, the case was handled was still on child.
Meaning it's not the only child. Your child is not the only child. Meaning he have another child.
The woman came here to even said he should not even bother putting responsibility on the child because he also neglected that one. Neglected online.
I wouldn't want anything that would stop my son. Maybe next in future, or my put my family beyond life.
And when I told you I was going public, you didn't even tell me no problem. She told me I could go public.
She is already here. You are the one that is not here. There is no way we will not take her statement. Even if she decided to go to CNN, she's the one that granted the interview to be interviewed. So you understand?
I want them to be online about my career, about my life, about my dreams,
That is the reason. Hold on. That is the reason why you should be able to manage your issues privately. Anything. Hold on. Anything. Listen to me. Listen to me.
I
Supposed to
told
tell
you
you
so that
why
she
you
go
are
public.
white. You've been here before
It's
and
on
they
the chat.
invited you. What are you saying? Both of you chatted it and you
He
told
said
her
I
I will
should go
have your
public.
chat with you.
I told you so that I should go
You're
public.
not serious.
He told me that I should go. I said, let's do this thing privately. He said, you can go public if you like. Go anywhere.
Let me write the resolution, the report, and put up the resolution on the. Go and give me that your chat with me. Bring that. And for here, write the resolution. Thanks, Danfo, for your information. Nobody owe you any apology, neither explanation to this. Same way, she have the right to be interviewed however she wants, as far as this office is concerned. You were invited and you never come up to honor the invitation. We are only being fair because we stand for everybody and not for anybody, and we can never be biased in this office because of anything. You that have the child, before you started having children, you should be able to make your plan on how to take proper care of your children, right? This is not the first time a girl have brought you to our office, which is the other branch, to lay the same complaint of you neglecting the child. And I don't know why it must be you, that every other woman you have contact with must complain of your child neglect. However, you are not here, but we have at least we give you the opportunity to respond to our allegation before we rule out our resolution. If you are not comfortable with this, which we have advised her, she can do otherwise. The law court is still standing for anybody to appear there. We are only mediating here, and we can't do more than our reach or our jurisdiction. Have you find it?
And I told him, if he does not, since he does not want to resolve things quietly, then I'm going to loud it. Said I should loud it. Can you see it?
Which you know, this I'm saying green, I'm saying yellow. Which one
This
is
is
the
it,
rest
ma.
one?
Look at the rest for they say no P. Please use speaker. Like I should take him anywhere.
Good. Yeah, take it. Well, it's just if you have even it feels totally that you are not taking care of the child or the upkeep is not there, then would have known what to do. Then you know, however, even if the case go to CNN, you will still respond there and you will still do the necessary. But it's just because you stand your ground, did I need to beg you to take care of your child? Was I there when you were having affair to bring forth the child? It is your responsibility, and some of us should be ashamed that you need to be begged before you take care of your kids. Your kids are your kids, and if for no reason, don't punish any child or any man or any woman because of children or using children against anybody for whatever reason. That is even the reason why I'm stressing myself to talk all this much. We're not doing comedy here. This is pure uh, official matter. Take the phone there, man. Answer your call. It's all right. My advice to you is this: you said if you are in Roman, you behave like a woman. There are you have diverse men and women. Am I right? Yeah. What you can gain from Mr. A, you cannot gain from Mr. B. And same way we have different men with different character, different women with different character. There are some men and women that are shameless. They don't care what they say in public, they don't care what they say at home, they don't care what they say to the hearing of a third person, based either how they were brought up or how they trained themselves or what they experienced in life or how they choose their lives as an adult. And you deal with people the same way you feel they portray how they portray their character. When you meet somebody that feel he or she is shameless and you have a shame, then you avoid anything that will bring shame to yourself because you are trying to protect your name and your integrity or whatever you feel you want to protect. But when you are dealing with somebody that is careful, that is respectful, that is reserved, then if you are dealing with such person, you know how long or how far you want to drag or stretch your request or whatever. I think the best bet and my advice to you as a fellow woman, work harder because you need quality education for your child. And if who can provide, bluntly said he did not have, do we pray that God should make him not to have as he said? No. Should we say, okay, as you have and you cannot bring, let's kill you for that? No. We leave such person to the hand of God, right? But the few that is provided, said is blessed is he that give than who that received. If you are taking care of your child, you pray to God, and God will, doors will be open for you, and you take care of your child. I have seen some ladies, I believe, so many, I don't need to mention them because it's on social media, that have turned down the offers of their baby father and they take care, good quality care of their child, and they don't care if the person exists. But at the end of it all, there is no how you suffer than take care of your child, and your child will not take care of you at the long run. The all you pray is live long, let the child be good, let the child be useful to you in the nearest future, and that should be your prayer. So if you ask me of my advice, my opinion to you, move on with your life as you have moved on with trying to save your life. Then work harder and pray for God blessing so that you can take care of your child. If eventually God touches his mind and he decided to do more, fine. If as the child grows and the child goes to him, time will come that the communication will not be between you and him anymore as regard to your child. The child goes directly to him to make demand from him as a father and son. If am I right? So if you want to like turn down the request of the son to his face, good and fine. If you want to provide for the child as the child demand for him, good and fine. That you become a third party, you are doing all this stress because the child is still very little, he don't know what he wants, you give him what he wants once he demand, or the one is good for him and the one that he also requested for. So I think you don't need to stress yourself over nothing, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen. Prayer to Amen to Joseph Joy prayer, and that is it. So please, this is where we're going to draw the curtain. We'll be back in a moment. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and share on our YouTube page. And I thank my YouTube followers. God bless you. Rich, 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 rich. Be blessed. Love you all. And I love you. You are the best. Thank you, Flo. Unilag. We'll be back.